Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show, to our show called V.I.B.E. And V.I.B.E. stands for Virtuous, Intelligent, Beautiful Energy. And for those of you who are just tuning in, let me introduce ourselves. I am MJ Hill, CEO of Rent a Clown Entertainment in Northeast Ohio. I perform magic, face painting, and balloon twisting for children and their parents at special events. And I'm not only an entertainer, but I'm also an educator. I have been educating children in Northeast Ohio for 20 years. And I am going to introduce everyone who's here. I have Pastor Bridget Jefferson, who is a pastor of her own church, along with her wonderful husband, and she has 5 children. And she has been an educator also for about 25 years. And Pastor Bridget, is there anything else that you wanted to add, or did I forget anything?
No, ma'am, I'm just glad you're here. And I just feel blessed to be a part of this vibe situation.
Yes, okay. And all right, Hala is 24 years old, right? Okay, and recently graduated from college, and even though she doesn't have any children, she works at a preschool. So, yeah, it's very interesting to hear her point of view, from her experiences at the daycare. All right. And last but not least, we have Diane Baker. All right. Diane Baker, she has a grown son and she has 2 grandchildren. And her son is a school teacher. And, she hears about the different experiences that he has. And it's very interesting. So today's topic is technology. We're going to talk about technology and how it has affected children. And we're going to talk about technology throughout the years and the changes that we've seen and how it affects children and their family. So first of all, I am very interested to hear what your Pastor Bridget has to say about technology. Okay. Well, first of all, let me just say this. let me say that one thing that I've noticed is that technology it affects the human aspects of certain situations. Technology can be good, technology can be harmful. It depends on how it's being used. Okay. And I like for us to talk about how technology has affected our children and what we see when we look at children. Like, I guess we can start from the cell phones. Nowadays, children have cell phones. When we were younger, we didn't have cell phones. If you wanted to talk to someone, you had to physically go to their house and knock on their door and ask, can little Timmy come outside to play basketball? Now children can play basketball on the video games. So, Pastor Bridget, what did you have to say about technology?
Hi. Technology has changed so much over the years. It used to be when we wanted to talk with someone, we would pick up our telephones and call them. And we used to have, instead of cell phones, rotary dial phones. And they had the long cords on them. And you can be in your kitchen, but stretch your phone to the bedroom, to the bathroom, or wherever you wanted to talk. And so it was so different. And then you had to dial one number at a time and wait for it to come back around before you can dial the next number. And then we had the phones that were push button. Then does anybody remember how we used to have the party line?
Right. More than two people, like 3 or 4 people.
Like 2 or 3 people at a time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, whether you wanted to have a party on the party line or not. And so we would stretch that phone cord so much that you could use it as a jump rope.
Yeah.
And throw all that static in between the line because you had pulled it out of whack so long. And so now here, and then we went to, the cell phones. We went to the big block cell phones. Remember they used to be like a brick?
Right.
And so you had to put the mouth part down when they first came out, and you had a phone bag that the phone came out of. Right. And then it was like we're talking on a brick to somebody. And then it cost so much money to just call one person and talk for a few minutes on that. I didn't have that cell phone, of course, but we have advanced so much to now you can do like we're doing on our cell phones now. You know, kids, you can play games on your cell phone. I play solitaire and
Frozen.
And you can play all kinds of games on your cell phone now. You can record videos on your cell phone. You can still have that party line. You have 2 and 3 and 3-way calling on your phone. So technology has come a very long way.
Right.
And same thing with your computers.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so Diane, how do you feel about technology?
Well, for the kids or for myself?
For the kids.
Okay, for the kids, the only kids I can tell you about are my granddaughters. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll come over to my son's house to play with the girls or watch them. And they want to grab my phone. And the older one she loves looking at herself. So she grabs the phone and she said, Grandma, I want to make a video, you know? So she's like, I'm like, is she self-centered? Because she's always like looking, you know, she's always like recording herself and explaining what's going on. And, you know, it's funny though, because she'll say like, this is my little sister, and she'll show her for a second, like, you know, but it's back to her. So I'm seeing this narcissistic part, you know, of her. And then she'll like pose, she'll go like, you know, and she'll pose it and stuff like that. And then she grabs the phone and then she's like talking to the phone like this, you know. So I'm like, she's just a big narcissist, you know. And Grandma, and I said, no, just, you can only do it for like 2 minutes, you know. Oh, I want to do something else, you know. So it's like, that's, you know, instead of, you know, I hate to say that, instead of, oh, Grandma's here. Oh, Grandma's got a phone, you know. It's like the technology like takes over the human aspect. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's what kind of hurts me, because I'm like, I want to spend time. So I said, next time I'm not bringing the phone, because she's going to grab it and go run somewhere, you know. And then I brought the puppy over and I was like, she wanted the phone. She's like, oh, that puppy. Oh, she's so cute, you know, but Grandma, do you have your phone? And I said, no, it's in my purse or something. You know, she was like, oh, wow. Well, listen, I got to tell you, you know what, my son does? He puts the TV on, and they put YouTube, and then they have all these videos, and that is a babysitter. They are mesmerized by the glitter. They get the glitter and they're like squishing it together and adding, you know, makeup and all this stuff. And they're like, for hours, they're like watching the TV like this, you know?
Yep.
So it's like a babysitter for them while they're cooking or doing whatever in the house. And he said, oh, they'll be like that for hours, you know, watching all these different videos and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So that's, you know, that's my aspect of that. So it's kind of unsettling in a way. I mean, you know, I know people are busy and stuff like that, but, you know, they don't do that all the time. But when I come over, it just seems like that's, you know, or they just want instead of going out. So that's why when I brought the puppy over, I said, let's go in the backyard, let's run around, let's roll on the grass, get some fresh air. Swing. They got the swing in the backyard. Let's swing on the swing. So we spent like 2 hours while I was watching them outside, running and jumping and playing, instead of
Mhm.
that phone,
Okay,
of that TV. Okay, so that's my take.
okay. Okay, now, Hala, how do you feel about technology?
I understand what Diane is saying. I agree that sometimes it can be a distraction, like especially when it's too much, like when it's used too often. I do like that I can use my GPS for, with the technology, and also that it can help you, like if you don't know how to do something, you can look it up on your phone or on the
Right.
internet. You can see how to do something that you don't know how to do. So I
Right.
think those parts are very helpful. But I do think in other ways it could be a distraction, or if you're out with your friends and family or something. And I had looked around one time, I was on a trip in choir and we were at dinner, and I looked around, I was going to make conversation, but everybody was just staring at their phones.
Right, right.
And so,
And you know what?
yeah,
That is the
just took you
reason.
back.
That is the reason that I want to have a technology challenge for everyone. For 1 week, try to do without technology. If you must do it for work or business or something that's really important or necessary. But I'd be very interested to hear everyone's comments, the viewers. I'd be very much interested in hearing their comments and what happened. And so for right now, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and give us a comment. Let us know how you like the show, and subscribe. That's it for now. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.